Hi friends! This is Dainty Tang. Welcome back. This is Fatal 12, part 41. Boom! I had to split this in post, so I already have played and finished this. It just was so long, I had to cut it, so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the cliffhangers. I always feel bad, but like, this is actually the end. This is the end. End. It has all of the best ways in which this should have gone. This is the good ending. So, buckle up, and I'll kick it back over to past Dainty. Boo! I don't understand. The flames came out of nowhere and... Sorry. It's fine. Don't force yourself to talk. Her condition is similar to when someone inhales too much smoke during a fire. Sounds like her lungs are having trouble. These flames are bad news. That's the one thing clear to me in this situation. You think, Rinka? Meanwhile, Parsa sits at the center of it. I need to save her. My body moves before I can think. Running on absolutely nothing is frightening, but I make my way to the center regardless. Parsa's small enough that I should be able to carry her on my back. Need to get her away from here, first and foremost. I take her over to Maharu's platform. There's no heat to the flames, so I should be able to make contact with them if it's brief. I need to do this as fast as possible, leading me to get as close to her as I can. Ah! Parsa continues to cower and wail. Seeing her in pain, I hug her. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. She really does resemble a girl stuck in an actual fire. It's like Diana's death. The situation closely resembles it, if you ignore the place and the color of the flames. No intention of abandoning her, though. I'll do everything I can to save her. Parsa seems completely unaware of my voice, though. She continues to cower in fear, refusing to budge. You seem to be in a spot of trouble. Lethe! Just a spot of trouble. Lethe, why are you here? This is the first time I've been able to speak with the human Lethe. It doesn't matter right now. I've come to view my own disappearance, I'm afraid. Using my connection to Parsa and her erasure is the only way to accomplish that. I do everything I can to assist you before that, though. Lethe knows far more about the dream world than I do, so his timing is perfect. There's no one I can rely on more than him right now. First things first, you should get away from her. He speaks in a calm and composed demeanor. She's indeed a source of the black flames consuming this place. But you have every intention of saving her, don't you? I can only assume you think she's the same Diana you've come to know. Get to the point! Apologies. She may indeed be Diana, but the one you're entirely unfamiliar with. I told you once before about how I took most of Parsa's memories. Well, most is the key word. I left the bare minimum of memories there in order for her to remain as Diana. In other words, you can think of her as a representation of the memories I left with her. Parsa continually gave people false hope and used their lives as a stepping stone for her own sake through divine selection. Those memories left within her created a personality that grew sick of those actions. A personality that split off from Parsa herself and remained hidden all this time. This is mere conjecture, but I assume this side of her somehow remained separate, even after Parsa regained the memories I had taken. Thus, the girl you now hold in your arms is an entirely unique existence. But how? I'm surprised you need to ask. It's only natural to wish for one's survival, regardless of what happened before. Diana's attachment to life was so great that it transformed her into Parsa upon her death. These black flames represent her mental state. It's her desire to live, the greatest desire of all humanity. Her continued wish for survival never faltered, even knowing what awaited her. She's trying to recreate the scenario that led her to becoming Parsa in the first place, in order to achieve the same result. It just so happens that the feelings of 11 others have gathered here, too, one of which happens to be the same essence as her own, to boot. Now, wow, unbelievable. To think she was this attached to her own survival. Simply astonishing. Thanks, Lethe. Not what we need right now. Lethe? Do excuse me for that outburst. Things have taken a turn for the worse, though. Bad news! I'm on the right train of thought, then. This situation is eerily similar to the scene of Diana's death. Diana, calm down. Ah! Ah! There's little point to that. Then what should I do? I don't know, honestly. Lethe, of all people, says he doesn't know what to do? How am I supposed to figure anything out then? No, I can't give up here. Lethe did all he could to help us, to the point that he's become nothing but a frail little cat. Besides, he already told me once. I need to handle things on my own now. I need to take Maharu back to the real world for me. I need you to take Maharu back to the real world for me. Can you do that? Already been taken care of. Glance over to numeral 2's platform. Maharu is nowhere to be seen. Naomi still has a sliver of my power remaining within her, enough to remain connected to this place. Much like how I was able to use my connection to Parsa to come here, she must have sensed what was going on and dragged Maharu back to the real world. My will remains connected to hers, which is what made that possible. Even as he says that, the panic on his expression remains. Let me be blunt. My existence won't last much longer. As I said, myself and Parsa are connected. Her erasure entails my own. This was my true goal all along, and the only means I had of accomplishing it. I apologize for keeping it from you. Why are you telling me this now? My desire to help you was no facade. Secret though my intentions were, I made sure that my actions would never burden you. Don't worry, I trust you. Time isn't on our side. Don't have the ability to help you much more. You can return to the real world while I remain connected to Naomi. This is your only chance to do so. What would happen to Diana if I do? I can hear her groaning even now. The black flames continue to wash over the court of fate. She will become a goddess once more and seek out 12 people connected through the conjuncture of causality. She will continue to carry out divine selection. Electing her will be impossible now that Diana and Parsa, you know, have been erased. She will exist forever with survival as her sole purpose. That means one thing. She'll be doomed to suffer forever. I never should have told you. You would have had no issue with returning to the real world. Never have I regretted something this much. He probably saw the expression on my face as he explained things. One glance was probably enough for him to understand what I'm thinking after having spent so much time with my family. Hey, you know me too well, don't you? Sorry, my time seems to be up. Lethe's body begins to shine. It's similar to when our cards would light up during an election. Thanks, Lethe. If anyone should be expressing their thanks, it's me. They're still. Lethe disappears mid-sentence. He's returned to his original fate, death, in much less flowery terms. I'm sure he's happy if he's able to be with Diana, though. I'm willing to bet that that was his wish all along. The issue I face now is Diana before me. The flames continue to spread, dyeing the court of fate jet black. This is a reenactment of Diana's death. Not just the events themselves, but the fear she experienced during it. Take a brief, yet definitive look at her. Lethe understood my intentions. Yes, my desire to save her. I have an idea about how to do it. Parsa herself told me. She holds no resentment toward her mother or Linda for abandoning her. Is it possible for a person to hold no resentment whatsoever, though? It's possible for someone who's been abandoned to hold zero animosity towards those responsible. It was Diana who split from Parsa, not the other way around. Animosity is sure to have built up within her, slow but sure. The cause came down to one thing, her grief and hatred born during her dying moments. In that case, there's one simple way to ensure that this scene ends differently from when she died. Don't worry, I'm right here with you. I just need to stay by her side. I hold her close and offer her up a single prayer. Please save her. Set her free. One wish. I am consumed by black flames. My body is charred, smoldered, fills my lungs. They burn away my very existence. Seems like the most accurate description of what's happening to me. I'm being erased in my entirety, not just from this world, but from fate itself. But despite that, my soul refuses to pass on. I preserve, with my earnest wish in my heart, the wish for the salvation of a girl once abandoned by those she held dear. This is the only way I know how to do things. It's just who I am. Then a voice calls out to me. Chin, can't say I know much about you, but hey, keep it up, you're doing great. It's a voice I've heard before, now that I think about it. Did I meet this woman at some point? I must admit, the idea of saving Parsa has never occurred to me. Another voice I've heard once before. Well, we never had a conversation, our paths crossed here. Kikyo, standing tall, even within those flames, you really do live up to the name your mother gave you. Now this is a voice I could never forget. My will lived on thanks to you. Well, that's how I chose to see it anyway. I don't know what name my son was given in the end, but everything you did helped me to accept my fate. I want her to know that her son has been named Haruki, just as she wanted. The thought never turns into words, though, no matter how hard I try. Rinka! A cheerful young girl's voice calls my name next. Thank you so very much for making my wish come true. Yeah, that's right. Sonya believed that we could both survive right until the very end. Oh, as soft as ever, AC. A time might come when you regret it. That certainly isn't now. You might want to try saying something nicer. Next up is that unmistakable duo. Judging by Yu's attitude towards Shikasuku, they're back to their previous relationship. You accepted me as not just a tool, but as a person. That's why you tried to save me till the very end. You overcome a lot since then, but I'm glad you haven't changed. Still the Rinka I knew. You're fibbing if you honestly think she hasn't changed at all. Yeah, you're right. You learned how to move forward in life, no matter what. Their voices suddenly grow distant. What am I hearing now? Dana's attempting to turn into Parsa once more? There's no doubt I'll use his energy to accomplish that. I'll become cinder and disappear from this world, with my last moments serving as nothing but fuel. And yet... Come on, kid, you ain't gonna kick the bucket after squaring up against me of all people, are ya? So, I'd like to say, but I guess there ain't no need. You ain't nowhere close to giving in. Heh, good. That's all I like to see. Oh, Odette. Something tells me that I won't disappear, even in those circumstances. I'd say it feels like I'm being shielded with something, but it's more than that. It's almost like I'm recovering from the effects of the fire. I have nothing in my heart for you but hatred, but watching you make your stand right now freaks me out. If hearing that bothers you, then you better stick to your guns. There's no point in using my life as a stepping stone if you end up just like me in the end. Amazingly, though, even Scale's voice reaches me. I feel my body return to normal each time this happens. I'm not imagining things. I'm pretty grateful to you, Squirt. Gave me the opportunity to finally come out on top of that asshole. Hey! Props for making an impression on Odette. Proves you're stronger than you look. Well, that's enough from me. Tell Maharu I said, hey. My existence is a fragile one. How others perceive me is what helped to maintain it so far. I lack the means to prove who I am on my own. There may be countless versions of me existing in all the worlds out there, but that may as well not exist without that. In the same vein, that possibilities can be nothing but unattainable dreams. Your disposition to help others, never given up, borders on ludicrous at this point. I can't say for certain that Amrita would make the same decision as you. There's little else for me to say to you at this point. If anything, though, I advise that you prioritize your friends. Everything would be for naught if they lose you, correct? Now that I think about it, yeah. There's bound to be people who would accept their own existence based on my perception of them. That's not a big stretch to believe. Maharu, Naomi, Mao, and even my Gran, they all have sides to them that only I know. What would happen if I disappeared? Would they follow suit? Good evening, my dear. Reckless as ever, I see. I must apologize for causing issues at this stage. Have you been questioning the nature of those voices you hear? The energy gathered within this space comprises fragments that contain the residual feelings and experiences of those eliminated. The fragments hold no sentience of their own, however. You are aware that one's perception of others is what allows them to exist at all. Thus, your perception of those fragments bestows them with a fleeting sentience. Brief though they may be, you granted it to them in their final moments. But enough with the overly obtuse explanations. In layman's terms, they are all cheering on your efforts to save me. With all the energy gathered here, you should be able to make use of their support. So please, wish for a miracle. I can't do that. I've already made my decision to stay here with her. I can prevent her death from being recreated by doing so. She'll be able to fade away while remaining human if I do that, right? If that's all I need to do to save her, then I'm more than willing. Yes, you are correct. However, my death can no longer be reproduced. You see, one miracle has already taken place. Her voice vanishes when she finishes her sentence, and in its place my vision returns. I see a girl cowering amongst a sea of flames. A black cat braves the fire and approaches her. It reaches its paw out and touches her cheek. Noticing the cat, she raises her hand. Her distraught expression melts into a calm smile, and the black flames soon engulf them both. It's amazing how much of an effort something that insignificant can have. That's all I can think as my consciousness begins to fade once more. Then again, it's not right to call it insignificant. Knowing for sure that you're not alone is a miracle in and of itself. None of us are alone, although it's not quite that simple. The fact that you're not alone is something, ironically, you must believe all on your own. That's why I think I'm just talking in circles. There's no point in thinking about it right now. There's only one choice left for me. I want to live. My voice, my most deepest desire. One that is simple and held by everyone. 12th week! Whoa! The brilliant... Oh! It's Monday. The brilliant summer sunshine burns its way through my curtains. As soon as I wake up, I can tell I'm drenched in sweat. Even the mornings are unpredictably hot this time of year. Throw open my window and bask in the sudden influx of fresh air. Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you both. It's classic Naomi. Yes, it's been a while. Good to see you faring better. Thank you. The three of us are able to exchange simple greetings. My eyes drag themselves toward my clock. It's Monday, July 23rd. Day after Divine Selection's final round. We did it. Both Maharu and I were able to survive. My excitement over that is soon interrupted as I take a good look around my room. Yeah, makes sense. We never really expected a big, happy ending. Thank you for everything, Lethe. Express my thanks to the small corpse curled up on my bed. I'm not quite sure how things ended, but it's certain that this cat's fate is now sealed. After over 100 years of caring for its owner, it was finally able to pass away. Its peaceful expression in death says it all. This is the first death I've witnessed that can't be undone. Now I understand just how determined you were. Maharu drops to her knees in order to pet it. I didn't know that this was his plan. Naomi sits down, tears welling up in her eyes. Soon enough, the tears begin to stream down her face. Do you not remember anything that happened? You two can head downstairs first. We'll talk about what happened there. I offer up a silent prayer for Lethe after they're gone. I cry too. It's been with me ever since I was a kid. The memories flood back, causing my tears to flow. After my tears run out, I wrap it in a blanket. I need to explain things to Maharu and Naomi. Wow. I brew some coffee and explain the events that took place in the dream world, while we all sip away at our drinks. The discussion isn't a fun one. No one likes talking about goodbyes. I mean, that's a fact. No one likes talking about goodbyes. You know, Maharu especially doesn't like goodbyes. I can vaguely remember what happened while Diana was inhabiting my body, but nothing about the events during the 12th election. How do you feel? Are your memories fine? They are, yes. I probably don't know much about the current world state as a result, though. All I remember is the time I spent with you. Sounds fine to me. We're all in the same boat, so we can rely on Mao if anything comes up. Mao, the source of, she's like the control in this whole experiment. How much do you remember, Maharu? Everything till those black flames appeared. It feels weird to say that I blacked out within my own dream, but that's what happened. I was here with you, too, when I woke up. I see. I'm a bit hazy on what happened at the very end, truth be told, but I'll do my best to recount everything that happened until this morning. And thus begins a long, long story. 41 episodes worth! It would have been shorter if I didn't have to struggle with so many fuzzy memories. Not much time has passed, but it's so hard to remember everything, considering just how much has happened. Once done, we make our way to a certain place as instructed. That is Shinjuku Park. Our final destination. We come here on Saturday as well, but this time it's for a different reason. Make sure to inform my gran about Lethe before we leave. That prompts her to say that she'll leave tonight to come home for a bit. Makes sense, she spent even more time with it than me. I'm sure she wants to say her goodbyes. I made a place for it to rest under using a basket and some blankets. It's a bit simple, but it's the best I can manage for now. Ideally, I would have brought it along with us, but that wouldn't be appropriate. I couldn't stay behind either. We had no choice but to come here today. That's our fate, it seems. The weather's quite lovely today. She's right, this isn't a cloud in the sky. Sun is as bright as ever thanks to that. Just keeping my eyes open is a struggle. But I'm fine with that too. It's kind of like a sign that we've won. I'm not sure how far fate's role extends across the world as a whole, but at the very least, we can say we prevailed over the deaths it had planned for us. One could say that Our being alive now is fate. I think that feels like a positive spin on things. Yeah. Hey! We stand together, surrounded by a sea of green. So many people worked to save me over the course of all this. I never once expected that I would die during it. You're the same as us, then. We must live with the memory of our own deaths. That's rather frightening. Doesn't matter now. It's all in the past. What does matter, though? I extend one hand in front of me, reaching nowhere in particular. There's no deep meaning to it. It's just a simple gesture. A number of people have entrusted their feelings and desires to me. More than ever. More than I could have ever anticipated. I'm here right now, and it's all thanks to them. Thank you. The only things that lay beyond me are the sun and blue sky. If anything, this all feels a bit underwhelming as an ultimate reward for living through those 12 turbulent weeks. But I don't mind. So who's up for taking a look around since we're here? Me! Yes, that sounds nice. I'll gladly accept whatever's in store for me in this place. Oh! That was the end! Jeez. We're gonna click. Is there a final scene? I was warned. Emma Lilith said there was a final scene. 8:11. It's finally time, baby! Mel's the first to show up. We're smack dab in the middle of summer vacation. We've made plans to go see the fireworks display. Sure is hard to plan things out when you're busy with the store. Maharu's busy with work, and Naomi's busy with a cram school. This must just be the first time we've all gotten together since your birthday. Huh? I think you're right. The last time we were all together was July 27th. I'd completely forgotten about my own birthday, so I opened up the store like it was any other day. 3 of them came around as a surprise once I closed up. Funnily enough, Mao was convinced that I would forget. Maharu made dinner for us, and Naomi brought a cake she baked at home. Aww. Maharu was worried because she didn't know what kind of food I liked best, causing her to make a number of Italian dishes. I never really brought up my favorite foods, now that I think about it. The pentanesca she made was good. Nice and red. Okay. No idea what it is. Naomi, remembering that I'm not too big on sweets, made a chiffon cake. It was decorated with cream, but one that wasn't too sweet. Gotta say, it was some impressive work. The flavor was tea-based, which led me to think she may have been influenced by Diana somewhat. Well, maybe I was just overthinking things. What's more, all 3 of them got me individual presents as well. Maharu got me this rich bouquet of red flowers. Red's my favorite color, so the store felt even more Rinka-esque after putting them in a vase and using them as part of the decor. Naomi got me a book, hardcover version of the foreign novel that Naomi loved. While simple to read, it also posed some philosophical questions. It even had a nice cover illustration. Mao gave me an assortment of hand lotions and stuff. I spent a lot of time washing Tupperware here, so it's perfect for keeping my hands nice and smooth. She even made sure to pick out scentless ones so they don't stink up the store. Seeing how much thought they put into their gifts made me happy. My gran even gave me a call that night, so suffice to say, it was a great day. Oh yeah. Naomi said she's gonna borrow a yukata from home, so she'll meet us there. That means we're waiting on just one more. Sorry for the wait, you two. Maharu appears 10 minutes after Mao. Any idea when Naomi would arrive? Oh, we're just gonna meet her there. So, what order should we do this in? We all agree to wear yukata. If there's one appropriate time to wear them, it's during the fireworks display. I'm borrowing one of my grand's old ones while Maharu and Mao got theirs from a place Maharu knows. And on the cheap, thanks to an acquaintance of hers from work. Interesting. You should change first, Rinka. Then you can come and help us pick ours out. A solid plan. Might be a bit annoying to walk around in, but hey, take one for the team. Okay. Mind coming to my room to help me put it on, Maharu? Why, no, not at all. They apparently had a yukata uniform day or something at her work, so she claims to have gotten used to helping others put him on. You come too, Mao. You have crucial task of getting some pictures of her while she's freshly dressed. Me too. Rare for you to say that. Still haven't given... Really? 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 Rinka. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 extra weeks. It's been almost 2 months. You've had Maharu on the hook. Rinka! Okay. I still haven't given Maharu my response to her confession. Oblivious lesbian, useless lesbian, stereotype. She hasn't arrested me for one, but sometimes she does shoot me with puppy dog eyes. I think I'm pretty sure about my answer, though. All that's left is to find both the right timing and the courage to overcome the slight awkwardness of bringing it up. Funny how I don't have the courage to respond to one single confession after everything I've gone through during Divine Selection. I just chuckle at myself as we make our way up to my room. Oh. Ah. Wow. Amazing. It's so pretty. Yeah. I was entranced for a moment there. I'm glad we came. The display's packed, as expected. We aren't able to find a spot to sit and watch before we start looking too late into the evening, but we do find a place with a decent view. You'd think we would be the only ones there since it's a bit out of the way, but nope, plenty of others have flocked to the same area. The display itself is enough to make us forget about everyone around us, though. I've been looking forward to this. It hasn't been on my mind every day or anything, but the realization that I've made it to this day has left me speechless. We probably could have sat down somewhere if Maharu didn't take forever picking out her yukata. Wait a minute, don't throw accusations at me when you took even longer. Sorry, my short-term memory loss is at it again. I don't think I've been out and about in yukata since elementary school. I remember not being too fond of the idea back then, which led to me being forced into it. Then again, I might have thought they looked pretty back then too. How far in are we? Is that a black cat with yarn on your yukata? It is. Ugh. Mao's yukata has a pretty flashy design. The kind you'd expect for people our age. Only about halfway. I'm sure they're getting the rest ready right now. The next box should be even more amazing than the last. Meanwhile, Naomi looks more mature than usual. I think it's because she borrowed her mom's yukata, which has that adult charm to it. I figured she'd trip at some point and break the illusion, but miraculously enough, that's yet to happen. My little girl's come so far. Is that what I'd say if I was her mom? Why? Apparently, they use around 15,000 fireworks in this display, so that means we've already seen 7,500. How about it, Mao? Up for counting them all to see if I'm right? Maharu's yukata has a nice harmony between design and color. It goes well with her usual looks, making her seem a lot older than she is. Most people would be surprised to hear that we're the same age. Pass. Maybe next year. Yeah, next year. Maybe that's why her rare smile, even now, that makes her look younger. We'll definitely come back. But won't you have entrance exams to worry about? Ain't a problem. We'll have time to come if we keep our heads in the books. Yeah! Agreed. I'll start thinking about that once our summer holiday is over, so please, spare me. Naomi lets out a forced laugh. And then the crowd around us starts to get noisy again. Second half's probably about to start. Whoa! Amazing. Second half managed to be even flashier than the first. The display doesn't let us look away for even a moment. What? Oh boy. Hear Naomi and Mao's utterances between the pop of the fireworks. And then I notice that they are trying to distance themselves from us. Mao's face contorts into an indescribable expression when I make eye contact with her, but then she sticks her tongue out at me. You can't fool me, kid. I know exactly what you're trying to do. Ah, man. Couldn't even create the ideal scenario without Mao's aid. Look up to Maharu while still feeling sorry for myself. She definitely noticed them sneaking off too, but her eyes are glued to the trails of smoke left behind by the fireworks. Most of the time, that is. She sneaks a quick glance at me every now and then, her face beet red. She's far more aware of these sorts of things than I am. It's no secret that she knows what's going on. I turn my head away for a moment out of embarrassment. See now, Mao and Naomi come into view when I do. They make no effort to remain hidden, and they're practically biting their nails. Thanks, guys. Huh. I inhale as I try to organize my thoughts. Maharu already took the plunge back when she confessed, so now it's my turn. Oh, Maharu. Turn to face her and then call out her name. She turns to answer, although it's obvious she's trying to act oblivious. There's no doubt in my mind about it anymore. I love you too, Maharu. The loudest firework of the night just has to go off at that very moment. I know. The answer! Maybe this is down to fate as well. Future. Oh my goodness. Wow. Achievement unlocked. Future. Okay, that was a really cute ending. I really did enjoy that. They actually did a good job of leading up to that. Let's see. That's all of these. That means these are probably bad endings then. I don't think I'm gonna go through the bad endings. I don't think my heart could take it. Just letting you know. But these are really good. This was a really intense and deep story. You know, I stepped into this thinking like, oh, cool, Yuri visual novel by a really cool group and team. Awesome. What I wasn't expecting was the long, detailed, crafted world and the major, like, traumatic story that this was. It was so much. It was so much here. Like, it really does take you for a surprise. I am so thankful for all of you to have gone through and experienced this with me. You should subscribe so you can hang out and do things with me more. I am playing Life is Strange True Colors. Come hang out with me. Subscribe so you can see them all as well. Plus, give me more suggestions. I will play what you suggest if it's something that is good for the channel. So definitely let me know. But, you know, overall, I'm a little sad there's no, like, CG of a kiss or anything. But on the flip side, like, I think it ended perfectly with that line. Because they had gone through so much that Rinka coming up and saying that and reaffirming everything for Maharu was absolutely the right way to end it. And there was just so much of a conclusive story with that last round. So, thank you all for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your time. And thank you for everything. You're just amazing. And with that, I love you all. And I'll see you next time. Bye!